Hello students, how are you today? Good morning. Today we are going to learn imperative sentences in German. Making imperative sentences in German. So what does it mean by imperative? Simply said, an example to be given in English. Come here, go there, dance properly, sleep please, sleep long please, sleep in the bed, sleep properly, dance properly, eat properly. You have to eat fast, eat slowly. All these instructions when we give, the term is called as imperative. Come here, go there, as I told you. Come here, go there, listen to the music. Instructions which we give to the person in front of us. Now, there are two types of imperative sentences made in German, in English as well. I mean, English it is not so. English, may formal, informal, both we have you. Three people are there, you. One people is there, you. Respect you. Informal, you. Friend also you. But this is not the case with German. We have do for a personal, for a friend, and Z for a formal, for a respectable person. Z, U is Z for formal and do for informal. Now let us start with the imperative case, how it behaves. How does the imperative sentence take place in German language? First we take an example, come here, for example, come here. Now what is the logic used by the Germans, by the German language? Come is common, we know that basics. Common as it is, okay, common as it is, and then Z is the formal imperative which I am teaching you. Common Z here. So Z or S will always be capital for the formal imperative. Common Z here. Now next is please dance here properly. Dance properly. Instruction. I am giving you an instruction. I am discussing first the formal form. Tanzen Sie here, richtig. Properly is richtig. Tanzen Sie hier, richtig. Tanzen Sie, richtig. Again, tanzen, T-A-N-Z-E-N, Z as capital, and then richtig. Tanzen Sie, richtig. Please dance properly. Now, bitte is optional. If you want to say please, you say the please, or you don't say the please. If you want to sound hopefully, that means how polite, you say bitte tanzen Sie, richtig. Z bedeutet, Z means formal. It's very easy. Understand the concept is very easy when you follow this concept which I have discussed with you. You will be able to make imperative sentence easily. One more example we can take. Work here. Work here. This is not a question. This is an instruction. So start with the verb arbeiten Sie here. Work is arbeiten. Arbeiten we have the verb arbeiten. Then Z as capital wala as Z. Arbeiten Sie here. That was the formal form. Formal imperative. Now I discussed the informal imperative. In the imperative, what happens is we give instruction to a friend or colleague, an informal gesture. We say, come here is come here. Sleep here is schlaf here. Arbeiten Sie here is becomes arbeiter here. Now, how do we work out what happens in the informal imperative? We already learned the formal imperative. We can now discuss the informal imperative. We are now discussing the informal imperative. So, how do we figure out the form of the verb in the imperative case? In the informal imperative case, okay? Informal imperative. We say kommen Sie here in formal form. In the informal form, what happens in front of do of the verb? Do kommst. The logic behind forming the form imperative, informal imperative. Remove the st of the do form. We'll have the verb. Whatever stays back is the form of the imperative. Informal imperative. Kommst du here? That is the question. Kommst du here? But remove the st. So komm. So imperative informal will be come here, come here. Formal you say kommen Sie here, beta. Come here, beta. Come here is a friend. Informal, formal. Kommen Sie here, beta. Respect. Come here to a friend. Come here. Somebody who is a junior. So come here. So we say play here. Spielen Sie Fußball. Formal. Spiel here Fußball. Du spielst. Remove the st. We have Spiel. We say Spiel here Fußball. Okay. Next, we have the irregular verbs. In those cases, also the same thing happens. For example, nehmen to take. You say, ich nehme, du nimmst, du nimmst, du N-I-M-M-S-T, nimmst. Remove the S-T, we have nimm. So, nimm, take, like this. Nimm, take, nimm. Formal, nehmen Sie bitte. Bitte, nimm S, N-I-M-M-S. So, what we did was simply figured out the conjugation in front of do, nimmst, removed the st, form remained was the form of the verb in the informal imperative. So, nehmen Sie es, nimm es. One more example, we take informal verb, we have lesen. In that case, lesen, do least, L-I-E-S-T, least. Remove the T, we have. In this case, don't remove the S-T, we just remove the T. Some things you have to buy heart, some you have to auswendig lernen. Some things in German, in any language, you have to buy heart stuff. Many times it comes vocabulary, grammar rules. But what happens is, in order to speak a language, it doesn't mean that you always have to know the grammar. You can go to patterns, you can learn through patterns, you can learn to practice. You don't know the reason of every concept, but you can at least make the sentence, at least talk and understand the language. This is very important. When you want to earn money after if you have developed the ability, it is important that you speak and understand. For that purpose, grammar has to be ignored a bit. I'm taking the grammar today, but I'm giving you this instruction beforehand. So we say, come here, kommen Sie here. Informal, come here. Irregular verb we discussed, lesen Sie. Lesen Sie bitte. Do becomes least. Do is least for the informal form. Remove the T. Least bitte. Read this please. Least this. Least this bitte. Least S. Least lesen Sie का do least होता है ना. It becomes do least. To remove the S, remove the T, we have the least. L-I-E-S, least. Next, we have one more example. Schlafen is also irregular. Do schläfst. In that case, remove the umlaut, remove the st. We have schlaf. We say in English, in German, schlaf gut. Schlaf gut, sleep well. We say schlaf gut for an informal form. Schlafen Sie gut for the formal form. Schlafen Sie gut, sleep well properly for the person who I respect, who want to treat formally. And somebody who is my junior, my friend, very close to me, I say schlaf gut. That is the concept. Understand? One more example. Let's take one more irregular verb. We take fahren. Fahren is to drive or to travel. Drive. We say fahren Sie langsam. Please drive slowly. For respect for a formal person. For an informal person, we say what happens in front of do for fahren. What happens for fahren in front of do? Do fährst. You know the conjugation. Do fährst. Remove the umlaut and the st. We have fahr. F-A-H-R, fahr. So fahr langsam. To a junior, to somebody who is younger to you. Fahr langsam. Fahren Sie langsam. Fahr langsam. Fahren Sie langsam. Fahr langsam. Schlafen Sie gut. Schlaf gut. Kommen Sie hier. Komm hier. Tanzen Sie hier. Tanz hier. Arbeiten Sie hier. Arbeite hier. Understood? I hope you understood the concept. I have discussed imperative in this video. I hope you remember the last video we discussed questions. Formal, not formal, informal. We say questions with W questions, without W questions. With W questions, we have the W question, then the verb conjugated as per the pronoun or the noun in front of it, the subject, then the other words of the sentence. One comes to do. When do you come? When are you coming? One comes to do. Then we have without W question. Are you coming? Are you coming? We have start with the verb without W question. Comes to do. Comes to do. One comes to do. Comes to do. With W question, conjugated verb and the noun, pronoun and the other words of the sentence. Question without W question, we have first the verb conjugated as per the noun, pronoun and then the other words of the sentence. Comes to here to heute. One comes to W question with W question. Comes to heute. Kommen Sie heute. Question mark, we say questions without W questions. Understood? So far so good. Thank you, Thermos Infosoft. Thank you, Swarup. Thank you, Kunal. Vielen Dank. See you soon. Bis später.